Hello to all of you. I am Aarti Saini, MTech from IIT Kharagpur, and today we'll be taking your second exercise of chapter 1. As in last class, we have done the first exercise of knowing the numbers or knowing our numbers. Okay. So particularly in last exercises, we have studied the arranging the number in ascending order, descending order, right? Making the number, changing the digits. So that's all we have studied in our last exercise. In this exercise particularly, we actually study the conversion, right? So let's say I have given this example that 10 millimeter makes 1 centimeter. Okay. So for a better understanding, let's start from here. If I say 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. Okay. So centimeter is this. We can write it in this way. When I say this, like 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter, so that is a standard limit that has been fixed so that actually we measure the scale and we understand that how we measure the scale, right? So in this way, for the ease of our calculation, this is the thing which has been done. Okay. Now when I say millimeter, okay, so milli actually represents 10 raised to minus 3. You can take it in this way, 1 by 1000, right? So because we know that 1000 is actually 10 raised to 3, isn't it? 1 after 1 3 zeros. So when I say 1 by 1000, that means 1 by 10 raised to 3, isn't it? So when I will take it upside down, so positive limits becomes negative, right? So when I take something from denominator to numerator, actually the power of that number will convert it into the negative number. Okay, it will be good if you remember this, but still as you are in 6th class, so it might not be that needed at this point of time. Okay, so just remember that milli represents 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, so when I said that my 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter, okay, so suppose if I take this 100 down, can I do like this? Cross multiplication, can I do like this? I can do like this, right? So 1 by 100 meter will be equals to 1 centimeter, right? Suppose if I multiply now this number with 10 and divide this number with 10 also, right? So now this number will become 10 by 1000 meter is equals to 1 centimeter. Okay, so now how can we write it in this way? This is 10 and 1 by 1000, I told you this is called as milli, isn't it? So it will be written as 10 millimeter is equals to 1 centimeter. Okay, you can also write it in this way, 1 centimeter is equals to 10 mm. When I say mm, so this represents millimeter. Okay, so these are the some of the things you should be very thorough about. Okay. Right, so just wait a second. Yeah, although it is written over there, it was just for the sake of understanding. So Okay. Right. So now let's move on to some further. We understood that 1 millimeter makes a 100 centimeter, right? So if I say 1 millimeter makes a 100 centimeter, right? So what will, sorry, 100 centimeter, what will 1000 millimeter makes? Can I write it in this way, 1000 millimeter, right? So this 1000, if I am multiplying here, I'll have to multiply here also, right? Because left hand side has to be equals to right hand side, isn't it? So I can write this 1000 is K, right? So kilo will always be equals to 1000. It will always be equals to 1000. So then I can say 1 kilometer is equals to these many centimeters. And as I've already told you that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter, right? So this 1000, let's take it here, and this 100 centimeter, let's say this 100 centimeter is actually a meter, we know that, so it will be 1 meter. So can I say 1 kilometer is actually equals to 1000 meter, right? As kilo says 1000, right? So it is already meter. If I say K, it will be 1000 meter. Okay, so this is also the thing you should remember. Okay, now let's move on further. How many centimeters make a kilometer? Okay, how many centimeters make a kilometer? Okay, so let's extend this further. Let's extend this a little bit further. As I have told you, 1 meter is 100 centimeter. Okay, and he wants a conversion from kilometer to centimeter. Okay, so let's take this 1 kilometer same, and in place of meter, why don't I put 100 centimeter? I can do this like, I can do like this, right? Because 1 centimeter is equals to 100 centimeter. Now he is asking us that how many centimeters make a kilometer, right? How many centimeters make a kilometer? So I got this answer. These are the 3 zeros. This is again a 2 0. So this is actually, in our Indian number system, we call this as 1 lakh centimeter, right? And we have studied this in our last exercise, so you should remember that. Okay, now his next question is, name 5 large cities in India, find their population, also find the distance in kilometers between each pair of the cities. Okay, so this is something you should be known about, like which are the 5 major cities of India. We know that the first which will come will be the largest city is like Mumbai, isn't it? And then Delhi, then Bangalore, and then Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, right? So this is not for to check your proficiency, that how good you are in your social science. This is just to see that these kilometer, if I write it in kilometer, it will become like this, 12,442, right? So if I want to write it in kilometer, I'll have to divide this number by 1000, isn't it? I'll have to divide this number by 1000, because anyway let us suppose that it is given in meter. Okay, so it will be 12,442. You know that as many as numbers, as many as zeros in the denominator, the equivalent number of decimal will come in the numerator. As many number of zeros in the denominator, the equal number of decimals will come in the numerator. Okay, so as in the denominator we are able to see 3 zeros, so we will put a decimal after the 3 digits counting from the backward. Okay, so 1 2 3, I'll put my decimal over here. Okay, so it will be 12442.373. this is in kilometer. Okay, so likewise you can convert rest of the numbers also in kilometers. Okay, he is only asking us to find the distance in kilometers. Okay, right. So this was about the conversion. Like we can say 1 meter makes a 1 meter makes a 100 centimeter, right? 1 kilometer makes a 1000 meters. Okay, and also we have studied that one actually centimeter, right, can be written like 10 raised to, or you can say 10 raised to 5, that we have studied, like 1 lakh. Okay, 1 kilometer. Okay, so like these things, small things you should remember. Okay, now let's come on to okay, he's another question is this one. Let's do this also. He's saying how many millimeter makes 1 kilometer. How many millimeter make 1 kilometer? Okay, so if he's asking us to do that, let's write it in this way. We know 1 kilometer is equals to 10 raised to 5, or let's say we say this as 1000 meter, right? So how many millimeter makes 1 kilometer, right? So in order to convert it in millimeter, I will have to divide this number by 1000, right? So okay, let's make it more easier. I will take this 1000 here. Okay, as I want to make it as a millimeter, so can I write it in this way? We know 1 millimeter is 1 by 1000, isn't it? So if I am dividing some number by 1000, I'll have to multiply it also, right? Because in mathematics, whatever you are doing, you will have to prove that LHS is equals to RHS, otherwise you cannot do. But as our mathematics is so like friendly, if I say okay, you take this and this also, right? Because anyway the output is come out to be 1, or answer is come out to be 1, so he will not be having any problem in that. That's why it is fine. Okay, now 1 kilometer is equals to, so this part 1 by 1000, can I say this is milli? I can say like this, right? So it's a milli and meter is already there, so the remaining part will be this. What is this? It's a 1 after 6 zeros, 1 after 6 zeros. As I have told you that you can write it in the raised to power. So as many as number of zeros are there, you will have to put the equivalent number of power in it. So it will become 10 raised to 6 millimeter. I hope you got it. Okay, so 1 kilometer makes how many millimeter? It will make 10 raised to 6 millimeter make 1 kilometer. Okay, I hope you got it. Okay, now his next question is 1 kilogram is 1000 gram. Okay, he's actually saying that. So now it, so this was about our measurement in distance. Okay, but something we also actually weigh, right? So these are the units we use when we weigh something, right? So when I weigh something, so suppose you are going to some, to purchase some vegetables, so what will you say? Shopkeeper, can you please give me this 1 kg of onion or 1 kg of tomato, like that you will say, right? But suppose he says, you think okay 1 kg will be too much, so let's take it as 500 grams. Okay, that's when we say it is half kg, isn't it? So when I say like that, I will have to go to the lower units, that is grams, isn't it? So that's why we say actually that 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 grams. So these are the standard limits which we have fixed for our convenience, okay, and which we are using from last so many years. Okay, so that 1000, that is 1 kg makes 1000 grams. In the same way, when I say 1 kilometer makes 1000 meters, in same way, but this is the unit to measure the distance, right? And this is the measure, this is the unit to measure the weight. Okay, so in same way, let's take this 1000 in the denominator by cross multiplication, so it will become 1 by 1000 kg and 1 gram. Okay, 1 gram is equals to 1 by 1000 kg. Can I write it in this way? I can write it, right? Okay, so now let's take this k also as, let's expand. I told you 1 k is 1000, okay, and let's write this 1000 like this. Can I write it in this way? Can I write it in this way? I can write, right? Because when I say 1000, suppose 100 by 100, it will always be equal to 100 into 1 by 100. That's why I have written like this. Okay, so it is 1000 into 1 by 1000 gram. Okay, now this we have already known that it is milli, isn't it? It is milli, so it will be written as 1000 milligram makes 1 gram. That's what he is trying to say, that 1 gram is equals to 1000 milligrams, and 1 liter is equals to 1000 milliliter. Okay, so that's in the same way we can do, like 1 liter I can multiply it by 1000 and divide it by 1000. Okay, then let's this 1000 keep aside, and 1 by 1000 will be milliliter. Okay, this will be our 1L. So likewise you can do such calculations, but there is a difference in the units, that like when we measure it in kilometers, it signifies the distance. When we measure it in kilograms, it signifies the weight, and when I measure it in liters, it also signifies the weight. But the difference is, this is the weight of a liquid and this is the weight of some things like onion, tomato. Okay, but this is not like we cannot measure the liquid into grams. We can, but we cannot measure the gram into liters, because liter is the unit of water, or we can say liquid. Okay, so there are more into it, but this is not our subject. Our subject is mathematics, so we'll only stick to our calculation part. Okay, if you want to study further, you can go for your other subjects like science. Okay, so this is the part of that. Okay, now let's move on to our next part. Actually now as we have done with our basics, so we can proceed to our exercise, or we can say like let's do some of the examples. Okay, so here is one example. He's saying how many milligrams make 1 kilogram. Okay, so this I think you can do. Still I will do it for you. You also follow in your copy. 1 kilogram makes how many milligrams? That means my motto is I'll have to convert this in such a way that it becomes milligram. Okay, so one thing I know, let's take this 1000 gram. This thing I already know, isn't it? Now but I want milli. For milli, in order to have milli, I must have 1 by 1000, but I don't have this, so let's make it 1 by 1000. Okay, let's make it 1 by 1000. When I'll make it 1 by 1000, as I'm dividing something, I'll have to multiply also, because in mathematics we cannot do only one thing. We'll have to come out to be the to be with, we'll have to stick with the final result. And final result is 1000. So when I solve it, I am getting this 1000 gram. So that is okay, right? To divide or multiply the numerator with the same digit. It is possible. We can do that. Okay. Now here our number has converted into milli. Why? Because 1 by 1000 I know it is milli. I'll directly write it as milli, and it is gram. Now rest of the number, as 1000 into 1000 is actually 1. After that 6 zeros will be there, but I'll write it in this way. As I've told you, as many number of zeros are after 1, right, the equal number of you can say rest to the power it will become. Okay, for easy understanding, I can also do like this. As we know, 1000 into 1000 makes 1, and then 6 zeros will be there. So because there are 6 zeros, so I can write it in this way. Okay, and suppose if it in this way, like 1 by 6 zeros, so I can write it in this way. As I have told you, it is 10 raised to 6, but once the denominator power comes into numerator, it converted into the negative power. Okay, so these are the things I think you should be clear about. Okay, so now let's do our second part of the question. In this he is saying a box contains 2 5 zeros, that means 2 lakh. 5 zeros are 2 lakh, isn't it? 2 lakh medicine tablets. Okay, in box, that means we have 2000 medicine or tablets, each weighing 20 milligram. Okay, that means the weight of one medicine is 20 gram. Okay, so let's say that total number of medicines is equals to, okay, is equals to 2 into, can I write it in this way? Okay, let's write in same way, otherwise you will get confused. Okay, 2 into 10 raised to 5. Can I write it in this way? If you don't want to write, that is fine, right? Because 2 into 1, after that 5 zeros, when I'll multiply that, I'll get the same result. So I'm writing it in this way for the easy calculation, that what is the need to write 0 0 0 again and again. Okay, so I can write it in this way. That's why I've written. Okay, now he's saying total number of medicines are these, right? So let's call it as capital N. Now one medicine, the weight of one medicine, okay, is equals to 20 milligram. That means the weight of one medicine is 20 milligram. Okay, what is the total weight of all the tablets in the box in grams and in kilograms? Okay, so let's forget about this kilogram. First we'll stick to our grams. Okay, so we know that how many medicines are there? These many, and the weight of each medicine is 20 milligram. That means the weight of whole box will be n into 1 med, isn't it? Okay, for easy understanding, let's say if I say I have 5 books, Okay, these always stays in my bag. I always keep them in my bag. And my one book all are of equal length and equal weight. Okay, so I can say my one book is 200 grams. The weight of my one book is 200 grams, and I have 5 of these kind of books, right? That means one book 200 gram, then another 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 book 200 gram, isn't it? Likewise, I observe, that means I have these many, right? When you will add it, right, you will get 1000 grams. You will get 1000 grams, right? You can add like this. I suppose that as you are in 6th class, you are very good in addition. I suppose like that. Okay, you can do like that. So, but this is a very tedious job, isn't it? It's a very tedious job. So what will I do? I observe 5 books. Okay, I have 5 books. Let's say this is capital N, and one book, the weight of one book is 200 gram. Okay, that is nice. But I have 5 books, isn't it? If one book is 200 gram, 5 books will definitely be 5 into 200, isn't it? So total weight, I will observe it as 200 into 5, 200 into n, that will be 1000. So this, in this way, we'll be able to do easy calculation. Okay, now let's come on to our main example. Again here he is saying now he has 2 lakh medicine and the weight of each medicine is 20 milligram. That means 20 milligram plus 20 milligram plus 20 milligrams plus 20 milligrams, how many times? 2 lakh times, isn't it? So why can't I multiply it directly? Okay, why can't I multiply them directly? Let's multiply them, it will become easy. So total weight, you can write like this: total weight will be equals to weight of one medicine into total number of medicines. So weight of one medicine is 20 milli and we have total number of medicines 2 into 10 raised to 5. Okay, so this will become 2 into 4, that is 40 milli into 10 raised to 5. So these are coming in gram, right? Because here the weight is given in grams. Okay, now 40 milli. This milli I know it is 1000, isn't it? It is 1000 into 10 raised to 5. Okay, so as it is 10 raised to 3 and it is 10 raised to 5, or we can say when you will expand it, it will convert it into 5 zeros and 3 zeros are in the denominator. So I suppose as you are in 6th class, you will be good in calculation. So it will directly, I am writing it as 1, after that 5 zeros divided by 3 zeros in denominator, the remaining zeros will be 100 gram. So it will become 4000 gram. Okay, so this was his first question, that he wants answer in gram. So we have reached here, we have reached till here. Now his question is, and in kilograms. Okay, so let's in kilograms, for converting the gram into kilogram, we know one thing, that 1 kilogram is equals to 1000 gram. Now my total weight, I am getting it as 4000. So can I write 4 into 1000 gram? I can write it in this way, isn't it? So this 1000 gram, I know it is 1 kg. So let's write it in this way. So my final answer in kg will be 4 kg. Okay, I hope you got it. Let's revise it once again. What we have done so far, I have told that the total number of medicine he has given is 2 lakh and the weight of each medicine is 20 milligram. So the weight of whole box will be 2 into 10 raised to 5 into 20 milligram, right? And this answer, after calculation, we got it as 4000 gram. In order to convert it into the kilogram, I have taken this 1000 aside, and in place of 1000 gram, I know it makes 1 kilogram. So I have converted into 1 kilogram. Okay, I hope you got this point. Okay, now let's move on to our next part of the discussion. Okay, so as time is up, so we'll meet in our next class. So guys, hope you got the things what I was trying to convey. Try to implement that, and we'll do the questions of your exercises of your 1.2 in our next class. Thank you so much.